Yeah, after that, everything was over, and I guess that's when the party started. Yeah.
I remember when we were waiting to do this water thing, and is he your little cousin or something?
Yeah, my little cousin.
This kid, this 10, 11-year-old Thai kid, speaks to me in like a flawless American accent, and he was talking to me, and I was like, how do you have an American accent? Yeah. He's like, oh, I watch a lot of South Park and Family Guy, and I was like, how old did you say you were again? He's like, I'm 11. I'm like, all right. Well, if you're learning American, then I'm sure that's good.
Yeah.
He was so funny, the kid. He was so cool.
God, I'm like, this being at this family gathering, being at this wedding, kind of like opened my eyes a lot because I talked to a lot of my younger family members. One, I realized that a lot of my younger cousins, initially they were like, oh, I watch a lot of YouTube. I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then I talked to them a bit more about who they watch or who their favorite content creators were. And 90% of my cousins were like, oh, I watch VTubers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I remember that because one of your cousins that was sitting with us for quite a while, was a really cool kid, overheard that conversation. And he turned to me and he went, what's a VTuber? And I was like, no. You are the last innocent mind. Your mind will not be tainted.
Don't do it.
Don't do it to yourself. It's like, promise me you will not look it up after this wedding.
Oh, there was this really awkward moment where I was having a conversation with my cousin and my uncle was standing next to him as well. Yeah. And he was telling me about how he watches YouTube and something like that. And then he says that he watches VTubers. And then like a minute after that conversation ends, my uncle comes up to me and he goes, can you explain why like he's always spending this stuff on his bank account? I don't understand. Like he's spending a lot on YouTube. I don't understand. And I was just like, oh no.
He's red super chatting. He's red super chatting.
Oh no.
I was like, oh no, uncle. I don't know how to explain this to you.
So there's this girl, right?
If I did, it wouldn't help.
There's this girl, they're real, but they're not real.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I also realized, I also had the realization of why I am so adamant on not taking pictures wherever I go. And I realized this because it's kind of like, maybe like a kind of trauma.
I already know what you're going to say.
Or maybe like a kind of trauma that has stuck with me. And this kind of like made me remember why I hate taking photos. It's because at every family gathering, everyone wants to take a photo, and there is never an opportunity to not take a photo.
Yeah.
Dude, your aunt was going insane.
Yeah.
Her camera roll must go on for like years.
Terabytes.
Yeah, because at this wedding, I was like, taking a few photos, and every single time I took a photo, like 3 more aunts or 3 more uncles are just like, can we take a photo as well? Can we take a photo? And then so me and Sydney were posing for a lot of this day. Meanwhile, remember, we're in like a full like Thai traditional suit and get up and everything.
Yeah.
Like, Sydney was like sweating her ass off. So we were just standing there taking photos. And as soon as we thought we had a moment to breathe, we'd walk 5 paces and then someone would be like, can we take a photo? Can we take another photo? And we'd be like, yes, okay.
If you must.
Yeah, if you must. And I remember this was just how it was growing up for me. I've grown up with this sense that no matter where I go with people, someone's going to take a photo. So I don't need to take a photo. So this is, I guess I remember now why I never take photos. It's because in my mind, I'm like, someone's always there to take a photo and there are going to be way too many photos.
There's always an aunt or an uncle around the corner ready to take a photo.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
Yeah, but I'm glad you guys got to see my house in Thailand. Glad you got to see...
Yeah, because I remember about that. Because I remember like you were like, all right, so meet up at the venue at X amount of time. And so, we told the taxi driver to like take us to this venue. Yeah. And they're taking us through these like back streets. And I'm like,
it's really confusing.
Where is this venue?
Yeah.
And then I realized your venue is just your house. And I'm like, why did you say venue? You could have just said house and I would have been less confused because along this road, it was the weirdest road, right? Because it's like, I guess we entered like kind of the nicer back streets where like there's like tons of like huge mansions with like extraordinarily like large ponds and lands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a thing in Thailand, but there were so many statues of pop culture figures on the streets.
Yeah, there was a
Like,
There was like a 6-foot bust of Captain America.
yeah.
In front of someone's house.
I had to double take so many times.
Full on. Like, Captain America's just his, like, from his abs to his head, 6-foot statue of that.
And then there was like this like maybe 3 or 4 foot tall like Mario like porcelain statue.
Yeah. I think it is just maybe not traditionally part of Thai culture, but just
Yeah,
but
really.
just sometimes, you know, Thai people, especially you know, people around me, sometimes if you can just grab a cool little like ornament or like artifact or something like that, no matter how out of place it is, you just put it there.
Yeah, because
You know?
I remember
How
I
did you get a 6-foot bust?
That's
I have no
what I wanted. I'm like,
idea.
where? I'm like, did you make that?
Yeah.
Like, because I remember I told that story to one of your cousins, and I told him about the Mario one,
Yeah.
and he was like, oh yeah, he's a doctor,
Yeah.
and I'm like. Didn't even get Dr. Mario? Like, you fucked up. Like, it doesn't explain why he has a Mario in the front of his mansion.
Yeah, I think you just put it that like one of my other neighbors has a fucking Jurassic Park theme gate or something like that.
Yeah,
And
Didus and I went walking in your neighborhood, right? And we just walked past this gate, and I'm like, I'm not tripping. That's the Jurassic Park logo on the gate. And then I look over at the wall, and it clearly says Jurassic Park. And I'm like, where am I? What is Thailand in? It was so weird. Oh,
yeah,
so cool though.
Yeah, sometimes, at least from, you know, my family and people I know, sometimes Thai people, especially when they're trying to like build a house or put some cool things or kind of try to get a way to stand out, they would just take a random thing from America or British films or whatever and just put it in their house. Doesn't match the aesthetic, doesn't match the vibe at all. Sometimes you're just walking past the house and you see a random Mario statue. Doesn't make any sense at all, but that's just the way things are. It's just
like your neighbor's house that we started that the ceremony in, like looked like every country put into one place. Like there was like an Amsterdam inspired windmill next to a river, and then there was like a very traditional like Southeast Asian house, and then there was just straight up like a concrete block that looked like something out of like Eastern Europe, and I'm like, what is this place? Like, what's the theming? Like, how did
It's very unusual.
Like, how did the guy tell the architect, being like, I want this, I want this, I want this, and the guy's like, you want it all in the same property, right? He's like, yeah.
kind of feels like a theme park, you know, because it's just like, I'll just have a little bit of everything. Why not? Why not?
I thought it was a theme park, and then your cousin was like, oh no, this is the neighbor's house. I'm like, what does your neighbor do?
It was insane. It was very
It
impressive.
was so weird.
Yeah. Thankfully, none of my family served you boys beer with ice cubes in it.
Yeah,
I was expecting it.
Oh, you know what they
I
did do though that I thought was unacceptable.
What?
I was like, "Could I have a beer, please?" And so he gives me a beer. And he gives me a straw. A straw for a canned beer. I was like, no, thank you. Like, what? What is this? Why do they drink beer out of a straw? What is this? Can you explain?
Some people just do that.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked up.
I don't know why.
What the fuck? You can't drink beer out of a straw?
I think it's fucked up as well. I don't know. Those ain't my guys.
They're not my mans.
They're not my mans.
I don't think there was a moment where like in the 72 hours where I was in Thailand where I wasn't disgustingly full. I think I was full constantly.
I think every moment I was with these boys, because I only got to take care of these boys, one at my wedding and one another day when I could show them around. I think every hour I was with these boys, we were eating something.
Dude, because everything's so good.
Yeah.
Nothing missed.
I remember at the wedding, I think your aunt brought out these like satay, like chickens on a skewer or
Chicken
something.
satay, yeah.
The chicken satay skewers, and they were bomb. Dude, I swear, I saw Connor eat like 50 of those. Like, not even over exaggerating.
hungry.
I think he actually ate like 4 full plates of that shit.
I ate a lot, and they just kept bringing them over when I
Yeah.
finished, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I can't let them go to waste."
See, I thought Connor wasn't eating much because I was like talking to my family and everything, and every time I'd come to with like your table. Connor had a full plate.
Because they kept bringing it.
Connor had a full plate of satay every time, so I just assumed, oh, it's the same plate.
No, he was just eating it so fast that you didn't see it.
And then like, even though I was full, they started making other food, and I was like, well, I have to try it.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
dude,
I-
the moment you came back with the gapow rice, I was just
the
like,
whole like I was so full, and I still ate a whole gapow. And dude, the question I got the most in Thailand every single fucking time I got any food, they were like, "Are you sure it's spicy?" They asked me this every food I ordered. They were like, "Are you sure this is spicy?" Yes, I'm sure. Give it to me. On the airline, any fucking stall for pad thai that wasn't even spicy. They're like, "Are you sure it's spicy?" I was like, "No, it's fine. I can eat it. I wouldn't have ordered it if I couldn't."
oh my
Yeah,
god.
but because like Thailand, you just assume everything is spicy. I remember I took these boys to like kind of like a casual place where they serve like barbecue pork and some chicken and stuff like that. Came with 3 sauces, and I remember Joey and Didus asking me, "Oh, is this like different spice levels?" And I'd been abroad for so long, so I assumed it was just different spice levels. And then we were all like progressively trying like the 3 different sauces, trying to figure out which one was the spiciest one, right? And then Joey was like, "Oh, I think the middle one's the spiciest one." Dad is like, "Oh, I think the left one's the spiciest one." And then I tried it, and I'm like, "Wait, I think they were all the same amount of spice." I think it's the difference is the sweetness of them actually, which just goes in Thailand. There's only one level of spice.
Yeah.
It's just spicy.
It's just spicy.
Yeah, Dom was sweating nonstop.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
he's Dom.
Food, bro, he was just wet.
The squid like dish that you guys had at your wedding.
Oh yeah.
That was spicy.
Yeah, that was probably the spiciest one. I mean,
Right.
you know, like had a kick to it, but you know, I was fine. Connor was fine. I guess Didus really likes squid.
Yeah.
And he put maybe half of his plate full of that squid, not knowing that it was the spiciest thing.
Yeah.
Dog, after he finished it, he looked like he just came out of a sauna. He was
full
like
on dripping.
physically dripping in
It was
sweat.
so funny.
I'm like, are you okay? Did you just like run a half marathon? Like, you look pooped.
Yeah, I mean, because I was telling this to Joey earlier because I was surprised. I think you've gotten like a lot better at handling your spice
better.
compared to when
I surprised
first met you.
myself, to be fair.
Yeah, because you handled a lot of the Thai food pretty well.
Yeah.
But I remember saying, I think with Thai food, there's like a perfect amount of spice with certain dishes. People will just make dishes with the amount of spice that it has, and you can ask for it to be less spicy. But I think by asking it to be less spicy, you're removing some of the flavor out of it.
Oh, for sure.
You're also asking it to be less tasty.
Yeah, you're asking for it to be less tasty. They can make it less spicy, but the reason there's always going to be a little bit of spice in it, even if you ask for Thai food to be less spicy, is because I think there is just a perfect amount of spice level for this food that makes it the optimal taste. And that, unfortunately, is too spicy for a lot of people.
So good though.
Yeah, but
So
it's
good.
yeah.
I was just full the whole time.